Alright, I'm going to tell you guys about a very strange day, but also a good day I had about 2 years ago. It all started when I woke up early one morning on a Tuesday, got out of bed, and I went to my closet to pick out some interview clothes. I had an interview at a golf course later that day. So, go into my closet, pick out a nice pencil skirt, a nice button-up blouse, very professional attire, and I laid on my bed. And then I proceed to go downstairs to see my roommate. She's awake. She's like, "Would you like a cup of tea?" I'm like, "Absolutely." She's English, by the way. So she gets the tea ready. We sit on the couch, talk about the events that are going to happen during the day. And I tell her about how I'm excited for this interview. I'm nervous, excited. She's like, "Oh, you do great." I'm like, "Okay, enough talking. I got to get ready." So I'm already downstairs, so I figure I'll just use the downstairs bathroom. So I go in the bathroom, grab my spare toothbrush, open the cabinet, and no toothpaste. I'm like, "Okay." Now open the cupboard. Down there, I'm like, no toothpaste. Finally, I go under the sink, and there's the tube. I'm like, "Okay, sweet." So I load up my toothbrush. I stick the toothbrush in my mouth, and I start brushing. I'm like, "Whoa, this is kind of funky." And I keep brushing. I'm like, maybe it's just some weird toothpaste she brought back from the UK. She brings all kinds of weird stuff home. And then I have a chuckle. I'm like, well, they do kind of have messed up teeth, but maybe that's part of the reason. So I just keep brushing. I'm brushing my tongue. Got to make sure I have that good breath for my interview. I lean over to spit it out, and I see the tube, and I read icy hot. Oh. Gross. I highly recommend never trying that. You're not missing out. Anyway, I run upstairs, actually use toothpaste, brush my teeth, get in the shower, and go out to my car, get in my car, start driving. Halfway to the golf course, I'm like, I'm parched. I should stop and get some water. So I stop at a market, and I get out of my car, and I start walking in, like all nice professional attire, and I see this guy walking towards me, and he barely has pants on. He's got, swag, walking like a thug, And I'm just walking, and I stop, and he stops about 5 feet from me. And he proceeds to grab himself and call me a cocksucker. I'm like, whoa! I don't even know who you are. I was speechless. And he continued to walk past me. And I was standing there, I'm like, wait, I gotta stick up for myself. I can't just let some dude call me that. And I'm like, you're a cocksucker. And he turns around, he's like, and he just goes at it and says it again. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm like, he's just standing short of a picnic. Whatever. So I go in the store, and I get my water, get back in my car, try to get to the golf course. The interview goes really well, I think. So after the interview, I get back in my car. Around then, it's lunchtime, and my tummy's grumbling. I'm like, oh, what should I eat? And I'm thinking, chicken teriyaki sounds good. I know this great spot by my house. So I drive over to the restaurant, and I go in, I order my food, and I sit down. And all of a sudden, this man storms in. He runs up to the counter. He's like, "I want water!" I was like, whoa, that guy's rude. I'm sitting there all nice and polite. And he says it again. He's like, "I want water! I need water right now!" I'm like, what is the problem? So he finally gets this little cup of water, and he runs over to the soda fountain machine, fills this little tiny cup with the water, and he runs outside. What is his urgency? What's going on? So I follow him. I'm sitting by this large wall of windows, and I look over, and there's a homeless guy. He's on fire. I'm like, oh my God! And this guy has this tiny glass of water and throws it on him, and he's still on fire. And I'm sitting there with this giant glass of ice water in front of me. So I'm like, I have to react. Holy crap! So I grab my water and run outside, and I'm running up to the homeless guy, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's going to be really, really cold." And he's like, "Put it out, just put it out." And I throw the water on him, and the fire goes out. And then we're all just, stunned. And we slowly start backing up from each other. And I don't know what to say. I'm just dumbfounded at this point. I'm like, have a nice day? What do you say after that? And he's like, "God bless you, God bless you." I'm like, okay. So we all just kind of go our separate ways, and I go back in to sit down and finish my lunch. And as I sit down, this older black gentleman slowly turns around, and he says to me, "That man was burning up." And I'm like, yes, he was definitely on fire. Yes, he was burning up. I was just astounded that no one reacted like I did. Anyway, I eat my lunch, and I go home, and I tell my roommate about the day I had, and she's like, "Well, ultimately, how was your interview? How'd it go?" I'm like, "Well, I think it went okay." And as I was saying that, the phone rings, and it's the man that interviewed me, and I got the job. So despite of all the distractions I had during the day, I still came out on top, even though it was just a really, really weird day.